Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke. The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We're going to go back 67 years on this Sunday for a triple feature of Westerns, with John Dehner as Frontier Gentleman, Gunsmoke starring William Conrad, an episode of Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, that short-run series, and it had a very sad ending to it. And we'll cap it all off with Quick as a Flash, a quiz show starring Ken Roberts, and we'll have an episode of Claudia for you. That's all coming up on this Sunday, 23rd day of March, 82nd day of the year. We have 283 days left in 2025. Patrick Henry delivered his famous speech, "Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death," at St. George Church in Richmond, Virginia. In 1806, after traveling through the Louisiana Purchase and reaching the Pacific Ocean, explorers Lewis and Clark and their Corps of Discovery began their arduous journey home. It was on this date in 1839 the first recorded use of OK as an abbreviation for All Correct in the Boston Morning Post. It was on this date in 1857 Elisha Otis's first elevator installed in New York City. In 1868, the University of California, founded in Oakland, when the Organic Act was signed into law. The Wright brothers applied for a patent on their invention of one of the first successful airplanes on this date in 1903, after much hard work. In 1909, Teddy Roosevelt left New York for a post-presidency safari in Africa, the trip sponsored by the Smithsonian Institute and the National Geographic Society. Pakistan became the first Islamic republic in the world in 1956, and in 1965, NASA launched Gemini 3, the U.S.'s first two-man space flight with crew Gus Grissom and John Young. In 1973, John Lennon ordered by U.S. immigration to get out.
Under the law, Mr. Fieldstein could not grant him a change of status to a permanent residence, and instead gave him his application, granted his application for voluntary departure, and fixed a period of 60 days by which Mr. Lennon must effect his departure from the United States.
Now, in response, Lennon and Ono held a press conference on the 1st of April of 1973 at the New York City Bar Association, where they announced the formation of the state of Newtopia, a place with no land, no boundaries, no passports, only people. Waving the white flag of Newtopia, two handkerchiefs tied together, they asked for political asylum in the U.S. While the press conference filmed, it would appear later in the 2006 documentary, The U.S. versus John Lennon. Lennon's mind games included the track Newtopian International Anthem, 3 seconds of silence. The deportation of Lennon, driven by President Nixon, who would resign a little over a year later. President Ford had no interest in continuing the issue. The deportation overturned. Lennon got his permanent green card. It was on this date in 1983 President Reagan made his initial proposal to develop technology to intercept enemy missiles.
I am directing a comprehensive and intensive effort to begin to achieve our ultimate goal of eliminating the threat posed by strategic nuclear missiles.
The proposal was called the Strategic Defense Initiative, or, quite frankly referred to as Star Wars. After 112 days with the first artificial heart, Barney Clark passed away.
It's a slow loss of blood pressure. No matter what was done to speed up the heart and to make the heart respond and pump more, the body wouldn't hold the blood pressure.
Dr. Chase Peterson, who said the mechanical heart was working, but Clark was too ill to survive. At an earlier time, Clark spoke with reporters.
What does it feel like to have an artificial heart in the chest? Do you have pain, or is it uncomfortable?
Not at all. It feels comfortable. The only thing you get used to is, I imagine, is pump.
The noise of the pump?
But you get used to that.
Does that bother you much at sleep?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Barney Clark passing away, the man who had the very first artificial heart. The Russian Mir space station disposed of on this date in 2001, breaking up in the atmosphere before falling into the southern Pacific Ocean near Fiji.
This is a historic moment. It's a bittersweet moment. The Mir can only be thought of as a great success.
Lack of funding ended the mission, 15 years of the Mir space station. And it was on this date 4 years ago today, a container ship ran aground and obstructed the Suez Canal for 6 days. Passing away on this date in history, Peter Lorre. Actress, socialite, humanitarian Elizabeth Taylor, the wonderful Joe Garagiola, a great baseball player and sportscaster, a couple of actors, Ken Howard and George Segal. Now, birthdays on this date include Joan Crawford, Werner von Braun, five-time land speed record holder Craig Breedlove, comedian John Panette, You Go Now, and the Cars, Rick Ocasek, all born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Those still with us include Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, the singer, 72 years old today. From Felicity and the Americans, Carrie Russell is 49. Blogger Perez Hilton is 47, and country singer Brett Eldridge is 39. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 23rd day of March as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the Four Freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
And on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater, we're going to go back to Sunday, March 23rd, 1958, 67 years ago, for a triple header. John Dehner stars as J.B. Kendall, the frontier gentleman. That's up first.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom.
And we go back to Sunday, March 23rd, 1958, 67 years ago. Frontier Gentleman, starring John Dehner.
It's amazing what a man will do to himself over a woman, and still more amazing what a woman will do to herself over a man. This story happened in Virginia City, Montana Territory.
Frontier Gentleman. Herewith an Englishman's account of life and death in the West. As a reporter for the London Times, he writes his colorful and unusual stories. But as a man with a gun, he lives and becomes a part of the violent years in the new territories. In just 1 minute, we will bring you this latest report from the Frontier Gentleman.
What are you stopping here for, Clark? The country club is still a half mile away.
I know, Scarlet.
But I don't want to drive up to the club in this low-priced car.
But the snow is 6 inches deep and I'm wearing my ballerina slippers.
Well, you'll just have to hoof it, baby. I'm not driving any further. You're much too big for a piggyback.
Oh, the snow is cold.
Take bigger steps.
Oh, that won't help. Why don't you get a big car like a swept-wing Dodge?
A Dodge? I can't afford a big car like that.
Oh, yes, you can. Even though Dodge is a big car, it's priced below 59 different models of the low-priced field.
What? You mean I can own a big swept-wing Dodge for less than I paid for my car?
That's right. And you get all that big car roominess and big car luxury. With a Dodge, you get all the car you're paying for.
Okay, Scarlett. Let's forget the dads, dear, and go see our Dodge dealer.
Oh, wonderful, darling. On these cold feet, who could dance anyway?
Now, starring John Dehner, this is the story of J.B. Kendall, Frontier Gentleman.
Virginia City, Montana Territory, was particularly noted for three things: its gold, Henry Plummer and his band of outlaws, and the vigilantes. The vigilantes disposed of the Plumbers and were replaced by a more lawful authority, so that by the time I arrived, only the gold remained, and of course those who sought it, the miners. They filled the town day and night, spending their hard or easily won money in saloons, gambling houses, and hurdy-gurdy establishments. I was attracted to one of these on the night of my second day in Virginia City. It was a brilliantly lit saloon called Skinner's, and outside was a large sign proclaiming the appearance of Miss Eulalia Robinson. I went inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll give me your attention, kindly refrain from shooting 6 guns in the establishment, because the next man that does it's going to get thrown out on his saddle. With your kind permission, I have the honor in presenting the world-famous actress, Miss Eulalia Robinson. She has appeared before the crowned heads of Europe and honors us with a presence tonight by a special appointment to Her Majesty, the Queen of England. Ladies and gentlemen, Henry Irving's leading lady, Miss Eulalia Robinson. For her first recitation, Miss Robinson will give us a scene from William Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I...
She was in her late 30s. Not a good actress, not even beautiful. But her manner, the dignity of carriage, created an illusion of beauty which captivated her audience. She remained on the stage for a solid hour, and by the time she was finished, I could see that every man in that saloon was completely taken by her, and more than one imagined himself to be hopelessly in love.
Boy, ain't she something. Now that's what I call a woman. Hey, where you going?
I want to meet her.
Who do? Hey, partner, wait for me.
Mr. Skinner?
Yeah?
My name is Kendall.
What?
Kendall.
Kendall?
Yes, that's right. I'd like to meet Miss Robinson.
Yeah, you and 100 more, you'll tear the place down.
No, I'm a correspondent for the London Times, newspaper.
Newspaper man?
Yes.
Sure, come on, duck under here. How'd you like it? That's real culture, huh?
Well, she's quite a success.
Yeah, she sure is. What paper did you say you write for?
London Times.
Was that so? Well, Miss Robinson will get a kick out of that, you and her both coming from England.
Yes? Come in.
Oh, that was just fine, Miss Robinson, real fine. Say, this is Mr. Kendall. He writes on the London Times.
Mr. Kendall.
How do you do?
May I present my business associate, Mr. Grimes?
How are you?
Mr. Grimes?
I guess you folks have plenty to talk about. I'll go on back and get the boys quieted down. Virginia City never heard anything like you gave us tonight, Miss Robinson.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Skinner.
Not at all. I'll see you later.
Well, won't you sit down, Mr. Kendall?
Oh, wait a minute. Kendall, you got identification or something? Proving you're a correspondent?
Not on me, no.
I don't think it really matters,
Well,
James.
it does to me. You know what I mean, Kendall. Miss Robinson is popular. A lot of fellas like to come busting in and make any excuse, you know what I mean. I gotta watch out for her interests.
I understand.
And she's kind of tired right now. Why don't you let her go till tomorrow?
If you would rather, Miss Robinson?
No, not at all. I'd rather enjoy being interviewed tonight.
And I say it's not a good idea.
You're being extremely rude, James. Perhaps you'd care to take supper with me, Mr. Kendall.
Why, I'd be delighted.
No.
No?
No, she's not going.
I hope you'll forgive him, Mr. Kendall. He thinks that every man who looks at me is thinking dire and dreadful thoughts.
My intentions are completely honorable, Mr. Grimes.
Lately.
I don't want to discuss it anymore, James. Now, both of you, please wait outside. I must change my clothes. I shan't be a moment, Mr. Kendall.
Listen, Kendall. I'm sorry I acted the way I did, but if I don't keep an eye on her, nobody's going to. You know what I mean?
I think so.
I mean, nothing personal, but as her business manager, I've got to take care of things. Now, she gets awful tired traveling around this way. Best thing for her right now is to go back to the hotel and get some sleep.
As a business manager, Mr. Grimes, I should think you'd be happy to have a newspaper interview.
Oh, sure I am. But you know how these actresses are. They're like kids. They don't even know what's good for them.
I hadn't been aware.
Well, take my word for it. So you go on ahead. Now, I'll tell her you see her tomorrow.
Under the circumstances, I'm afraid she'd think it was rather impolite, don't you? Why not wait until she comes out?
All right. We'll make it tonight. A nice quiet supper at the hotel, 3 of us.
Mr. Grimes, I get the distinct impression that for some reason or other you don't want me to be alone with Miss Robinson. Am I right?
I'm her business manager,
Yes, so you said.
And she doesn't talk to anyone unless I'm around.
Strange, I got the impression that she didn't want you around.
I don't care what you think. I'm coming along. If you don't like it, no interview.
There! That didn't take long, did it? Are we ready, Mr. Kendall?
Yes?
Laylee, you're going back to the hotel.
Good night,
and-
James. I'll see you in the morning.
We walked down the street to the hotel. She talked about some of her experiences in the territory, rather nervously, I thought, seeming almost deliberately to avoid her background of successes in England. I ordered champagne with dinner, and I could see that rather than making her feel more at ease, the drink only increased her anxiety.
I'm afraid that James is right, Mr. Kendall. I must be tired. The champagne makes me feel quite giddy, but I will have just a tiny drop more.
Of course.
You know, James is very angry with me.
I gathered that.
He's a jealous man. You wouldn't think so, would you? But he is.
I don't think I blame him.
He has no reason to be. We're only business associates. It's not as though we were married or anything. James doesn't believe in marriage. He says it deadens one.
Do you think so?
I don't know. I've never been married. My work hasn't allowed for it.
Did you meet Grimes in England?
Oh, no. No, that was in Boston. He saw me perform and asked to represent my interests.
I see.
Oh, he'll be very angry about this. Me being with you tonight.
May I ask you something?
Please.
Why are you afraid of him?
Afraid? Oh, afraid of James? How utterly ridiculous. Does it show so very clearly?
Yes.
May I have some more champagne?
You know I'm not English, don't you?
Yes.
I never played with Henry Irving. Never saw England. Never did any of the things they say I did.
I didn't think so.
By appointment to Her Majesty. James thought that sounded fine. He took it from a bottle of Scotch whiskey. Do you know what I am, Mr. Kendall? I'm a liar. My whole life is a lie. I'm not even a good actress.
I was completely charmed by your performance.
How sweet. How gentlemanly and nice you are. Mr. Kendall, you're terribly attractive. You're the most attractive man I've ever met. No, that's not true. My husband was the most attractive man. You see, I lied about that too.
You are married.
I was. James is always afraid I'll tell someone.
Why?
Well, the marriage didn't end very nicely.
Why do you tell me?
Too much champagne.
I don't think so.
I'm tired then. I wish I could cry. Do you know, Mr. Kendall, I haven't been able to cry for 3 years. And there are so many tears.
The shots had come from outside. Just for a moment, I saw a shadowy figure at the broken window. Then it was gone in the night. Miss Robinson was lying on the floor. A thin line of blood ran from the corner of her mouth. She was unconscious.
In a moment, we return to Frontier Gentlemen. Today on CBS Radio's Suspense, Vanessa Brown and Jim Amici will co-star in Affair at Loveland Pass, a Western thriller with a psychological twist. Exciting dramas waiting for you, too, on yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Join us on most of these same stations later today as action-packed stories come your way on CBS Radio's Suspense and yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And now we return you to the Anthony Ellis production of Frontier Gentlemen.
I just heard. Who did it?
I'm not sure, Mr. Skinner.
Doctor's on his way. Ought to be here in a few minutes. Oh, she doesn't look good.
I think the bleeding stopped.
Boys down in the saloon are mad. Word's got around here in a lynching mood. Sheriff's trying to ease them down.
Mr. Skinner, was Mr. Grimes there?
I didn't see him.
I just wondered.
I guess he ought to be told. He's staying down the Nugget Hotel.
Yes, it might be a good idea.
Well, I'll go on down myself. Now, listen, Mr. Kendall. If there's anything she needs, you sing out. Anything at all. One of my boys will be outside. You just say the word.
Right.
I'll be back.
What a strange feeling.
Miss Robinson,
No pain at all. I've always thought there would be.
the doctor's coming.
I don't really mind, you know.
Don't talk.
Funny. I never believed him. He always threatened to do something like this.
Dr. Todd, where's the wound, please?
Oh,
Kindly wait outside, sir.
Yes.
I'm Dave. Skinner told me to wait. What's the doc say?
Nothing yet.
I'd sure like to get my hands on that feller that done it.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of us would.
She's a lady. A fine lady. Not like them hurdy-gurdies around here. It don't matter if one of them stops a piece of lead. She real bad hurt?
Pretty bad.
You figure it was some crazy liquored up son of a gun done it?
I don't know if he was drunk or not.
I mean the fellas, we come to see how the lady is.
We don't know yet.
There's more downstairs. We just wanted to know we're going to get the son of a gun to dry gulch, sir. Doc Todd come yet?
He's in there now.
Well, you give him this. There's $300 or better gold dust than that. You tell Doc he pulls her through, he'll get another like it. The boys wanted to know they're with her.
Sure do.
I'll tell her.
You do that.
Yeah, I got a couple of dollars. That goes for me, too. Give it to the doc.
I will.
I can't operate yet. She's lost too much blood.
She gonna be all right, huh, Doc?
Don't ask fool questions, boy. I'm not God. Right now, she's asleep. Well, you're Kendall, aren't you?
Yes.
Lucky for her you were around. If she lost any more blood, she'd be dead. Well, you might as well get some shut-eye. I'll stay with her.
I left the hotel and went out into the street. There were 50 or 60 men standing about, quietly, waiting. I told them all that I knew. Then I saw Mr. Skinner hurrying up. He motioned to me, and we walked away from the crowd.
Grimes. Couldn't find him.
Oh?
Hotel clerk said he hadn't seen him all night. Now, I've been thinking, is there something wrong between these two? I heard arguing this afternoon in her dressing room over at the saloon. I didn't think anything of it then, but with this...
I think we'd better find him, Mr. Skinner.
He did it?
I don't know, but it's possible.
I'll get some of the boys.
No.
What's the matter? You a friend of his? You trying to protect him?
Neither one, but all they need is an excuse. If they even suspect someone, they'll hang him. I prefer things more legal.
He's a killer. We've handled that kind before in Virginia City.
Miss Robinson is not dead. Now, what I suggest is that you talk to some of the men who aren't likely to take matters into their own hands. Tell them we're trying to find Grimes. If he doesn't know what's happened to Miss Robinson, they can bring him back here.
Then what?
We'll let the sheriff handle it.
All right. But I'll tell you, Kendall, if he puts up a fight, I want to be there. It'll be a pleasure to shoot him.
The search began. At first, only a handful picked by Skinner knew what they were looking for. But the word spread, and with it, rumor. Grimes was the man. Grimes had done it. In an hour, every man who knew or cared about what had happened was a hunter. The quarry, innocent or guilty, was James Grimes. And it was obvious that if found, he'd have very little chance of standing trial. At about 3 o'clock in the morning, I returned to Miss Robinson's room. Any change, Doctor?
No. They get the fellow that did it?
Not yet.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How come a man would want to kill a woman like this? She's the way I remember a woman should be.
Why don't you get a cup of coffee, Doctor? I'll stay with her until you come back.
I think I will. Stretch my legs a minute. Turn around, Kendall. Don't move.
You look a little worse for wear, Grimes.
They're after me. They're trying to kill me.
Any reason why they shouldn't?
Is she dead?
No.
I warned her. I've been warning her what had happened.
Put away the gun.
And get myself killed?
You'll be safer with me than the mob outside.
You're the trouble, the reason for everything. It's been men like you everywhere we go. Every town she has to find someone. I warned her. I told her I wasn't going to stand it any longer.
I heard a different reason.
A different reason? What did she tell you?
About her husband. An unhappy marriage.
She said that? Told you about her husband?
Yes.
You want to know what really happened? She had a husband, all right. In Boston. I didn't know it at the time. I met her. I fell in love. She went away with me. After we were married, she told me.
She is your wife?
Surprising? Look at her. It's another one of her little ways. She thinks it's better if people don't know. She thinks I don't know why she wants it that way. I guess you could say we killed her husband. He committed suicide after she left him. Oh, you don't know. You don't know what it's been like. But I told her what I'd do if she went after another man.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter anymore. I hope she dies, then I won't have to feel these things.
If she dies, they'll hang you.
Yeah.
James?
Laylee. I'm sorry, Laylee.
Such a jealous boy. I never meant anything.
Don't, Laylee.
I like to flirt. That's all. A woman likes to flirt. It doesn't mean anything. Mr. Kendall knows that.
Can't you stop acting? Even now, can't you stop?
Listen to him, Mr. Kendall. Has he been telling you what a terrible woman I am? I suppose it's true. But you're not much of a man, James.
Laylee.
You don't have to listen to this, Grimes.
Kill her.
Come outside.
Kill
No,
her.
you don't. Give me the gun.
Give me the gun. Laylee. Laylee.
She's dead.
Give me my gun.
I can't. You'll get a trial. Perhaps they'll understand.
There'll be no trial.
Now, Grimes, come back. Grimes! Grimes! I think I was rather glad I hadn't stopped Grimes when he went through the window. They killed him. But in this case, perhaps it was better than a public trial and hanging. Miss Eulalia Robinson and James Grimes were buried side by side in Virginia City, Montana Territory.
Frontier Gentlemen was written, produced, and directed by Anthony Ellis and stars John Dehner as J.B. Kendall. Featured in the cast were Jeanette Nolan, Larry Dobkin, Harry Bartell, Jack Moyles, and Jim Nusser. Music was composed and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Now stay tuned for the Ford Road Show, to be followed by the CBS News over most of these same stations. Join us again next week for another report from the Frontier Gentlemen. John Wall speaking. This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Ford Roadshow was a 5-minute, basically infomercial for Ford. They would play a popular record of the day or a record by a celebrity who was hosting the show. There would be a big commercial for whatever product Ford was pushing at the moment. And that would run about 5 minutes. So there you go. Frontier Gentlemen, starring John Dehner, 67 years ago, March 23rd, 1958, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. First time we've been able to do this for a while. We'll have a look at the news from 67 years ago, coming up next.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you know how old the school building in your community is? If it's over 25 years old, the chances are that it's woefully inadequate. Join with the groups in your community working for better school conditions. Remember, better schools build a stronger America.
And our feature programs on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox podcast. Our first three shows, all from 67 years ago, March 23rd, 1958. And we'll hear the news items from the newspapers of that Sunday 67 years ago. Nikolai Bulganin may be ousted as Russian premier next week in the continuing battle for power in the Soviet Union. According to usually reliable diplomatic quarters, his removal would increase the already great authority concentrated in the hands of Nikita Khrushchev, the first secretary of the Communist Party. There was speculation Khrushchev will take over the premiership. The late Joseph Stalin held both posts at the time of his death back in 1953. U.S. officials saw signs Saturday of some success in the West's stand against Soviet pressure to hold a quick, showy, ill-prepared summit conference. They said Russia's instant summit propaganda appears to be losing its appeal in the face of Western insistence on laying the groundwork for a meeting that could lead to results. The rebel Padang radio claimed today 2 revolutionary government planes bombed the Indonesian central government's summer capital of Bandung. It was first reported on the home island of Java. Tensions were building in the big American oil and rubber centers in Sumatra, and the 3 U.S. warships stood by at Singapore a few hours sailing time away to evacuate Americans if necessary. Senators Manfield of Montana and Bridges of New Hampshire announced they will offer a bill Monday to retain the present setup of the Military Joint Chiefs of Staff. Mansfield, the assistant Democratic leader, said in an interview, the object of this bipartisan move is to put President Eisenhower and Secretary of Defense McElroy on notice of what we believe is the sense of the Congress in this matter. The Atomic Energy Commission said Saturday night the Russians had tested another nuclear weapon during the day, the third in the past 3 days, and the sixth in the past 9. The commission said the latest Russian detonation at the usual test site in Siberia appeared to have been in the medium range. The belief is growing in Moscow that the Russians are preparing a bold new venture into space. Soviet officials, including Communist Party chief Nikita Khrushchev and Foreign Ministry spokesman Leonid F. Ilyichev, have told Western correspondents recently, only half joking, that space surprises will be forthcoming, but authoritative sources have dodged questions about the what, where, and when. Famed producer Michael Todd perished in flames early Saturday with 3 others in the crash of his twin-engine airplane, the Liz, named for his actress wife Elizabeth Taylor. The executive-type plane plunged with tremendous force, exploded and burned in the Zuni Mountains of western New Mexico, southwest of Grants, at 2:05 a.m. in a storm. One who died was movie writer Art Cohen, who was working on the story The First 9 Lives of Mike Todd. The secretary for the colorful and flamboyant 50-year-old producer of Around the World in 80 Days, set in Los Angeles, that Todd, Cohen, pilot Bill Vernier, and co-pilot Tom Barkley definitely were on board. He saw them off at Burbank at 10:41 p.m. Friday. Officers made their way to the remote crash scene about 20 air miles southwest of the uranium mine mill town of Grants. Said they could recover only what appeared to be parts of 3 bodies. Condition of the bodies made positive identification, at least temporarily, impossible. Republican Kenneth B. Keating, the senior Republican on the House Judiciary Committee, today endorsed the Eisenhower administration's proposed constitutional amendment for settling the issue of presidential disability. Keating said in a prepared statement he was endorsing the administration-backed amendment because it differs in one key respect from the amendment the Attorney General proposed last year. He said it's as different as night and day as far as the role and power of Congress is concerned. The original plan, Keating said, left the determination of inability where the president did not declare it to the vice president and cabinet alone. He said, I could not accept that plan because Congress was given no voice in the decision. It could only resort to impeachment, a highly unsatisfactory method at best. But the new amendment proposal, he said, leaves the settlement of the only real question of inability squarely up to Congress. For that reason, he said he would urge the House subcommittee to give it serious consideration at its next meeting. Captain Edmund B. Ferry nursed a crippled Air Force plane over a suburban housing development in Sacramento and crashed in a muddy open field on Saturday. The big radar ship from McClellan Air Force Base burst into flames, but all 18 men escaped. 4 were injured, including the 41-year-old Ferry. His spine was broken. Forrest Snyder, who stood outside his home and watched the super constellation skim over the TV antennas and crash half a mile away from the nearest house. If anyone deserved a medal, it was this pilot. And from Kansas City, deadpan Jack Benny with violin and smiling former President Harry S. Truman with baton-matched music and with Saturday. The combination brought a sellout for Saturday night's concert in the 2,500-seat music hall and enough money to wipe out Kansas City Philharmonic Orchestra's deficit. While the benefit advanced the cause of the orchestra, no one was sure what it would do to the cause of good music. At rehearsals, Benny called to Truman, "Mr. Truman, after this, you'll never be president again as long as you live." Benny's rehearsal antics kept the 75 orchestra members laughing as much as they were playing. Benny programmed to play 3 numbers out of 8 in the concert, plus the national anthem, and a march to be conducted by Truman, the master of ceremonies. Although Truman was not scheduled to play the piano that night, he and Benny did a duet backstage in rehearsals. Truman saying, "He's just a frustrated violin player, and I'm just a frustrated piano player." Those some of the day's news stories as reported in the newspapers of Sunday morning, March 23rd, 1958. We'll have our second of 3 radio programs from that date coming up in a moment. William Conrad as Marshal Dillon from Dodge City, Kansas, in Gunsmoke.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Alert Americans will heed history's lessons. Throughout history, surprise has had a leading role in military disasters. Today, an enemy capable of surprise air attack could leave chaos in his wake. That's why you should be in the Civilian Ground Observer Corps, volunteering a few hours a week to guard our skies. Be a ground observer. Contact your local civilian defense office.
The Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox podcast continues now with our look at Sunday, March 23rd, 1952, Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad, the story of the violence that moved west with young America, and the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man, Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely.
Mr. Dillon, couldn't we stop a little while?
And if we're going to get to Dodge before dark, we got to keep moving, Chester.
Yeah, but I swear I'm about to bust.
What did you expect after the way you ate dinner?
You know, I just couldn't help it. Every time I eat with the cavalry, I make a fool of myself. The ration them fellers draws nowadays is really something.
Hey, Chester. Look over there in that drawer.
Why, it's an Indian, ain't it? Is he dead or what?
So let's go see. He's dead, all right. was an ugly death, too.
My goodness, shot in both knees.
Yeah. Looks like he was trying to crawl away when he got finished off.
Who in the world would do a thing like that?
Well, whoever it was, he must have been full of hate.
Mr. Dillon?
What?
There's a squaw watching us over yonder by them trees, here.
Yeah, I see her.
You reckon she's his?
Yeah, she might be. They're both Pawnee.
She's coming over here. Say, she don't think we'd done this, does she?
I don't know.
I sure hope not.
And if I could speak Pawnee, I'd tell her.
Understand white man talk?
Is this your husband?
Yes.
I'm Matt Dillon. I'm a U.S. law marshal.
Law much true.
You know who killed your husband?
No.
Well, you know why your husband was killed?
No. Husband good. Much heart. Big. Strong.
We'll help you bury him.
No. Indian bury husband.
All right. We'll go. Come on, Chester.
Yeah, it just don't seem right leaving her there all by herself, Mr. Dillon.
That's the way she wants it, Chester. Well, let's get on back to Dodge.
How was the trip?
Oh, it was all right, I guess.
You don't sound very enthusiastic. Have a beer and tell me all about it.
No, thanks, Kitty. I'm going to go pick up my laundry, and then I'm going to go get some sleep.
Evening, kiddies. Matt.
Hello, Doc.
Doc.
Well, I just treated Chester for an attack of indigestion. How are you feeling?
Oh, fine.
Well, that's not true, Doc. Something's bothering him.
Oh? That's so. What's the trouble, Matt?
I'll tell you what's the trouble, Doc. Disgust for my fellow man. But I guess I'll get over it.
What happened, Matt?
Well, on the way in today, Chester and I found a dead Indian. His squaw came along about the same time. Just rough to watch, that's all.
Well, Matt, men die all the time, and the women grieve.
No, not like this, Doc. He was killed a piece at a time. Somebody had shot him in both knees so he'd crawl. It wasn't until they'd had their fun that they finished him off. His squaw could see what had happened to him, so they
Be quiet. I'm listening to a funny story.
Hey, you. Is it my funny story you're listening to?
Yeah, that's right. Any objections?
You have some particular interest in Indians?
I have. Go on with the story. It's good. How does it end?
It hasn't ended yet.
I could end it for you. If it was me out there, that squaw would have went right along with a man.
That's so?
I hate Indians. I kill them. That's mighty near all I got on my mind. I enjoy killing them. I hate squaw men, too.
All right, get your hand away from that gun.
You wearing some kind of badge there under that vest?
That's right. I'm a U.S. Marshal.
And you figure that gives you a right to tell me who I can hate?
No. That's your business. But what you do about it is mine.
Well, I'm going to go on killing Indians is what I'm going to do about it, Marshal. Like I've been doing for 16 years.
And you've got a lot to answer for, mister. That's a long time.
It seems like no more than yesterday. I come back from hunting one time. I found my wagon burnt. My wife with a pretty back stuck full of arrows. My baby son carried off. They was Pawnees. And Marshal, your little badge ain't gonna change that. That's between me and the Indians. I'm gonna kill them till the day I die.
Edgar. Leave me alone.
What a terrible thing.
What Matt saw was terrible, too, Kitty.
Yeah.
16 years of that kind of hate's long enough, isn't it, Doc?
Much too long.
Mr. Dillon,
Yeah.
Mr. Dillon, that squaw's here.
Huh? Here in Dodge?
Yes, sir. She come over to the office. She wants to talk to you.
Oh, where is she now?
Well, there was another Indian with her. They're waiting out near the edge of town.
All right, let's go.
Hello, this is Marvin Miller with another page from your American Heritage Scrapbook. The majestic Hudson River, which has cut such a wide path through American fact and fiction, was apparently first discovered by Giovanni da Verrazzano, a Florentine navigator, on April 17, 1524. But the man for whom it was named, Henry Hudson, made the first conclusive exploration of the river during the months of September and October of 1609. Henry Hudson, hoping to find a waterway through North America to the East Indies, sailed his ship, the Half Moon, up the Hudson as far as present-day Troy, New York. In the 1620s, Dutch patroons had established a permanent colony, New Netherlands, along the banks of the Hudson, and New Amsterdam was spreading out from the southern tip of Manhattan Island. It was in 1664 that an English invasion force entered the deep-channeled mouth of the Hudson River and took over control of New Amsterdam from the Dutch. They renamed the city New York. Ships flying the Union Jack cruised the Hudson for more than a century, bringing furs and food supplies to cosmopolitan New York. Control of the Hudson became imperative during the colonial revolution for independence. The British attacked and captured Fort Washington and Fort Lee late in 1776, but their attempt to cut the jugular vein that united New England and the Middle Colonies was unsuccessful. Colonial independence won, peace reigned again over the river Henry Hudson once described as the Great River of the Mountains. Yes, running 306 miles from the summit of Mount Marcy in the Adirondacks to the wide-spreading harbor of New York City, the Hudson River became the lifeline of a new nation, just beginning to explore and develop its natural riches.
I don't see him, Chester.
Me neither.
You sure that's the right place?
Well, I think so, Mr. Dillon. I couldn't understand her too good. Maybe they changed their mind and left.
Now, that's not very likely. Must have had something pretty important to say to come all the way into town like that.
They sure must have.
Oh, there she is. Moving out into the clearing.
Yeah, but she's alone now. Where's that
Well, we'll probably find out.
Mr. Dillon, we better be careful. I don't like this.
You want to wait here?
No, I'm coming.
We talk.
You come alone now. My friend says that there was another Indian.
He back there. He little white wolf. Brother. He no make talk. He wait.
Is that the one, Chester?
Well, I think so. He never come near enough for me to get a real good look at him.
Any other Indians here?
No other. 3. All go. Leave village. Make new house. Oklahoma.
Huh. All right, we talk now.
White man kill husband. White man go to city.
How do you know this?
Brother, he gone. See one, only white man. Then go find husband dead. Brother track white man. Go to city.
Who is the white man?
He wear black hat, spotted shirt. He ride black horse.
Why, I've seen him.
Wait a minute, Chester. There are many men like that in the city. You got to say more than that.
You find, you make prisoner, you kill.
Now listen. The law must know, and it must know good. Did your brother see the white man kill your husband?
Brother, he gone. Then see one, only white man.
Yeah, but the brother did not see. Maybe the white man did not kill. Now, the law must know. It must be certain. You understand that?
Law not certain. Then law not kill white man?
That's right.
Then you give us white man, we kill.
No.
Brother not have 2 hearts. Brother certain, we kill.
No. That's much bad. Now, you go to Oklahoma. You make new house.
White man, big enemy. We no make peace. We wait. We kill.
Well, that's sad.
Reckon she means it?
Yeah, she means it all right. They'll get him. Eggert, I want to talk to you.
Come on in.
I tried to find you last night.
I ain't been hiding, Mark.
Yeah, I know. It was late when I got back to town. Nobody knew where you were staying. I went out to talk to some Indians.
You seem mighty fond of Indians.
I'm fond of the law, Eggert. Now tell me, did you kill that Pawnee?
I killed lots of Pawnees in the last 16 years.
That's not what I'm asking you. Did you kill that one yesterday?
Supposing I did, what would you do about him?
I'd hang him.
For killing an Indian? Might as well hang a man for squashing worms.
That day's past, Eggert. Now, the Indians think you killed him, and so do I.
I reckon you'll have to prove it, Marshal.
Yeah, there's an Indian who can identify you. The squaw's brother saw you do it.
That ain't exactly true.
No?
No, because if it was, you'd have me in jail right now. You ain't got no proof.
Well, the Indian heard your last shot, and he saw you ride off. He tracked you here to Dodge.
Don't put no rope around my neck.
Not legally, no. But the Indians know that you did it. And I don't want to have to hang those Indians.
And what do you mean by that?
I'll tell you what I mean by that. They're waiting for you, Eggert.
They're what?
That's right. So you stay in this town. You set 1 foot outside of Dodge City, and those 2 Pawnees will kill you.
Don't be sure of that, Marshal. Don't be sure of it at all.
This is Myron J. Bennett, back again with another little-known item of American military history. When you're up there in the wild blue yonder, either shooting or getting shot at, there's not much time for making famous remarks. Perhaps that's why there aren't too many on record for the Air Force, although our youngest branch of the armed forces got a big piece of the action in our recent wars. It started out on August the 1st, 1907, with only 1 officer and 2 enlisted men, and didn't get its first airplane until a year later. Under the Signal Corps, aces made history in the dogfights of World War I. But it wasn't until General William Billy Mitchell got himself court-martialed for backing up his statement that nothing can stop the attack of aircraft except other aircraft that the air arm really got going. In World War II, General Henry H. Hap Arnold built the Army Air Corps into the greatest military armada ever seen, with his 3-legged stool formula of pilots, planes, and airfields. And the slogan, keep 'em flying. And in the Cold War that's been going on ever since, the now independent Air Force with its ever-ready Strategic Air Command carries the biggest stick we've got behind its soft-spoken motto, peace is our profession.
Got time for a cup of coffee, Matt?
Yeah, I reckon so, Kitty. There you are.
On, can we have some coffee?
Right away, Miss Kitty.
Where'd you run off to last night, Matt?
Well, that Pawnee squaw wanted to see me, Kitty.
Oh?
Yeah, she and her brother know who killed her husband, and they came to me for help.
I get them to believe in the law, Matt. That's good.
Yeah, it'd be fine if the law could do anything about it.
Your coffee.
What do you mean, Matt?
No legal proof. So the Indians are going to do it in their own way.
Who was it?
Eggert.
That man who lost his wife and baby?
Yeah. I was up to see him this morning. He's the one, all right.
Mr. Dillon? I've been looking high and low for you.
What's the matter?
Well, you give that Everett orders to stay in town, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he didn't do it. He left about a half hour ago.
Yeah, I should have known he would. All right, come on, Chester. Maybe we can catch him.
Seems like we ought to have caught up with him, but now, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
Maybe the Indians got him already.
I doubt it, Chester. I think they'd get in behind him and trail him till they could set up an ambush.
Well, it's a pretty good spot for a fight right here.
Wait a minute. There's a squaw over there in those trees.
And she's riding up that little gun.
Yeah, come on. She's turning.
Well, she jumped off.
I'll get her. You catch the horse.
Yes, sir.
Hey, stop. Come here. Now, where's your brother? Come on, talk. Where's Little White Wolf? You see white man who killed your husband?
Mr. Dillon?
Yeah, over here, Chester.
I got her horse. What'd she say?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, not a word. Look. Brother kill white man, he break the law. Now, the law will punish him. You understand that? Now, where is your brother? All right, come on.
That's where I don't understand, Mr. Dillon.
I do, Chester. She waited on the trail as a decoy and deliberately led us away to give her brother time. Right now, that Indian and Everett are stalking each other somewhere in that bush.
Hey, that was a rifle.
White man, big enemy. We kill now. Little White Wolf avenge husband.
Where'd he come from, Chester? Could you tell?
Well, from that bluff yonder, it sounded like.
All right, let's get over there. Maybe we still have time to stop him. Eggert! Eggert!
Maybe that Indian got him, Mr. Dillon.
Eggert!
Here, Marshal. I got me another Pawnee. But he got me, too.
Where is he, Eggert?
He's right in them rocks.
Yeah, here he is, Chester. He's shot right through the head.
Why, he's much more than a boy. He's Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
Little White Wolf.
He's dead. Little White Wolf wasn't your brother. Not your true brother, was he?
No. True brother die baby. Chief give mother white baby. Call him Little White Wolf. He grow up fine Indian. He good brother. White man die?
Yeah, he'll die very soon.
Marshal.
Yeah, Eggert.
Did I kill him?
You killed him.
Well, that's good.
You were just a kid. About 18.
I'm glad. That's just about right. By now, my own son would have been just about 18. Mm-hmm. Mr. Dillon, did you tell him?
No, Chester, I didn't tell him. Well, at least we can bury him together.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. The script was specially written for Gunsmoke by Les Crutchfield, with editorial supervision by John Meston. The music was composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns were by Ray Kemper and Bill James. Featured in the cast were Parley Bear as Chester, Howard McNear as Doc, and Georgia Ellis as Kitty. George Walsh speaking. Join us again next week for another specially transcribed story on Gunsmoke. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
The second of three shows from 67 years ago, March 23rd, 1958, Gunsmoke here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll tell you about tomorrow's shows coming up shortly. Right now, I want to remind you, if you'd want to support the podcast, go to classicradio.stream. Up next, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how. And you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
Now our third of three shows from 67 years ago, March 23rd, 1958. Sam Buffington, who tragically killed himself not long after this series was canceled. Luke Slaughter of Tombstone. This episode entitled The Homesteaders.
Slaughter's my name. Luke Slaughter. Cattle's my business. It's a tough business. It's big business. I've got a big stake in it. And there's no man west of the Rio Grande big enough to take it from me.
Luke Slaughter of Tombstone. Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, Civil War cavalryman turned Arizona cattleman. Across the territory, from Yuma to Fort Defiance, from Flagstaff to the Huachucas and below the border through Chihuahua and Sonora, his name was respected or feared, depending on which side of the law you were on. Man of vision, man of legend, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone.
get used to all kinds of people in Tombstone. Miners from above and below the border. Cowboys, legitimate and illegitimate. Chinese who cook your meals or your shirts. All kinds. But one afternoon, Wichita and I spotted a new brand.
Say, will you look at that dude with the white hair and goatee? If he ain't the high mucky-muck of something, I miss my guess.
Looks more to me like a traveling preacher.
Yeah, but the other ain't no deacon from his looks.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
I wonder if you could give us a direction, sir. I'm not too familiar in these parts, and let me introduce myself. I'm Colonel Everett. This is my business associate, Mr. Granby.
Howdy.
Howdy. Slaughter's my name. This is Wichita.
Howdy.
What is it you're looking for, Colonel?
Well, we're heading for the Meeker place. I believe it's just outside of Tombstone somewhere.
That's right. Cal Meeker's spread's about 3 miles north. The Lazy M. You can't miss it.
Thank you. Thank you for your courtesy, sir.
Not at all. Oh, Mr. Granby.
Yeah?
Haven't we met somewhere before?
Met? No, I don't guess so, mister. It's the first time I've ever been in Arizona.
Well, now, I haven't spent all my life here either. I'd swear we'd met someplace.
Well, thank you for the directions, Mr. Slaughter. We'll get along to Lazy M. Come on, Granby. So, that's the way of it, Mr. Meeker. I'm sorry, sir.
No, wait a minute, Colonel Everett. This is my land. I homesteaded it. Got my title straight from the government.
You don't listen very good, Meeker. The colonel told you he's got the original grant on this land, dated way back in 52, before you ever saw Arizona.
That's right, sir. My title's all official and registered.
But Mexico sold this land to the U.S. in 53.
And the United States honored all prior claims.
Right so, Granby. Now, I am ordering you to get off my property in 2 days, Meeker. And I'm giving you a choice.
A choice?
Drive your cattle off this spread within 2 days, or leave 'em, and I'll give you $5 a head for 'em.
$5? Why, that's robbery. And what if I refuse?
Then we'll have to drive 'em off ourselves. That's your choice.
Choice? Get off my ranch and stay off, both of you.
Put away that gun, Meeker.
Get going, I said. Get going or I'll
Granby.
blast.
Okay, Colonel.
Get back or I'll shoot.
Oh, no, you won't. Oh, drop the gun. Oh, drop it. You might hurt somebody.
He don't think we mean business, Granby. Show him. Yeah, that'll give you a rough idea, Meeker. I'd suggest you start moving off this land now. We're taking over day after tomorrow.
Now, Cal, let me get this straight. The colonel claims he has an old Mexican grant to your land?
That's right, Luke. Signed by Santa Anna himself, he said. And not just my spread, either. He claims all the land out my way.
Wonder why he'd wait all these years to claim it.
Golly. Well, ain't there something you can do, Luke?
I don't know. It's a fact the government did recognize prior claims when they bought this territory from Mexico. So if his grant's on the level...
You know this'd ruin me. All of us up there, Luke.
I know. Where's this colonel located?
He told me he's got a land office in Bisbee.
All right, then. Wichita, you and I'll take a little ride down to Bisbee to see what we can find out. And you, Cal, go back to your spread and don't do anything until you hear from me. This may all be on the level, but every time I think of that business associate of the colonel's, I wonder.
Hey, there's the place, Luke. See the shingle?
Yeah. Land Office, Colonel Justin Everett.
Real pretty name.
Seems to me that shack was vacant a month ago. You wait here, Wichita. I won't be long.
Right, Luke.
Yes, sir. What can I... Well, we meet again. Mr. Slaughter, isn't it?
That's right, Colonel.
Well, what brings you down to Bisbee, sir? In the market for some land?
Like the Lazy M Ranch?
Well, now, that tract won't be available for a couple of days, but we can talk about it now.
Yeah, I think now's the best time to talk about it. Cal Meeker's a friend of mine, Colonel, and a member of the Cattlemen's Association. He tells me you're laying claim to his spread.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
Suppose you tell me all about it.
Well, I don't know why I should, Mr. Slaughter. This is a private matter between Meeker and me.
I'm the head of the Cattlemen's Association up at Tombstone. Anything that affects the members interests me. Now, let's hear about it.
Well, all very simple, sir. I hold a permanent grant on the land up there, signed by Santa Anna himself. It was a gift of my father, sir, who did some favors.
That land is United States territory now.
I'm aware of that.
You've had your claim certified?
Of course I have. The document's been verified and declared legal by your own Judge Harris in Tombstone.
Oh? When?
Not more than a month ago.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to take a look at that paper, too, if you don't mind.
I do mind, sir. This is none of your business.
I just got back from Tombstone, Colonel. The judge said... Slaughter, what are you doing here?
El Paso. You ever live in El Paso, Granby?
You still try to make out you know me? No, I never lived in El Paso.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I must be mistaken. Thanks for the information, Colonel.
Information?
Yeah.
You sure you never got fouled up with that man, Granby? Because if you did and he remembered...
I swear, Colonel, I never saw him before in my life.
All right. I just hope he never saw you.
Yes?
Morning, Judge.
Well, Luke Slaughter, what can I do for you?
Oh, nothing special. Just dropped by for a chat.
Come in.
Thank you. You know, I haven't talked to you since you lived in that little house up on Safford Street. It's quite a fancy layout you've got now.
Well, thanks, Slaughter. I like it.
I don't see how you can swing it on a judge's salary.
Oh, well, you see, a relative of mine died in Kansas City. Left me some money. Yes, sir, quite a lot of money.
Oh. When'd you buy this place?
Why, it was just a month ago, next Monday.
I see. Judge, I wonder if you could give me a little information on a land deal.
What kind of land deal?
A fellow named Everett, Colonel Everett, claims he has a Mexican grant on a lot of property around here.
Oh, Colonel Everett, yes. Say, that was a surprise to me, too. Yes, sir, quite a surprise. I had no idea such a grant existed.
He tells me you certified the title. Is that right?
Oh, yes. I went into it very thoroughly. Studied the grant, checked Santa Anna's signature, and didn't leave a stone unturned. No, sir, not a stone.
Well, I certainly hope so, Judge. I wouldn't want to see you mixed up in a crooked deal.
Crooked? Why, what do you mean by that?
Well, I haven't seen the grant myself, but... Well, somehow it's got an unpleasant smell to it. For your own good, you better have another look at that paper.
Now, Slaughter, if you question my integrity...
I never have, Judge, and I'm sure I won't have to now. You know, it's quite a coincidence, that relative of yours dying in Kansas City exactly the same time Colonel Everett came to Arizona.
Now, see here, sir...
Just a coincidence, I'm sure, Judge.
That's it, boys. Get those cattle moving and keep moving till they're clear off the place. Hey!
Hey, what is this? What are you doing with my cattle, Granby?
Well, I figured you'd be showing up, Meeker.
Stop those men. They can't drive my herd off like that.
They won't. If you want to take the Colonel's offer of $5 a head...
This is my ranch, and these are my cattle.
They may be your cattle, but this is no longer your ranch. All right, keep moving, boys. Come on, keep moving.
In a moment, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone returns. Last September, Carmen Basilio defeated Sugar Ray Robinson for the World Middleweight Championship. Tuesday night in Chicago, they'll meet for the return match, and you'll hear the broadcast only on CBS Radio. Right at ringside will be Jack Dries, giving you a blow-by-blow account of the fight. Dr. Joyce Brothers, the young psychologist from Brooklyn, who set the nation on its ear with her amazing knowledge of boxing, will provide the between-rounds commentary. Join us on most of these stations Tuesday night as CBS Radio broadcasts exclusive the exciting rematch between Carmen Basilio and Sugar Ray Robinson. And now, Act Two of William N. Robeson's production of Luke Slaughter of Tombstone.
Hey, Luke, you gotta come help me.
Well, sure, Cal. What's the trouble?
That Colonel Everett.
Well, what about him?
His men are driving my cattle off.
How many men has he got, Cal?
Granby and three others. They're driving my herd toward the east line.
All right. Keep your shirt on. We'll get your herd back if we have to make the Colonel drive him back himself.
Yeah, they are, Luke. They're driving them right down that arroyo.
Pull up here.
They'll be scattered all over the territory. I'll lose half my herd.
Forget the cattle. We'll get the men first. Cal, you ride around that butte and come in on them from the other side when I signal you.
All right, Luke.
All right, Wichita. We'll move in from this side.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Luke.
Hold it. This is close enough.
Well, if this is the Colonel's land, we're the ones breaking the law.
First things first. We'll worry about the law later.
Look, there's Cal, waiting for your signal.
All right, then. Here we go. So that's the way he wants it.
I got one of them, but he's sticking on his horse.
Hold your fire. They're making a break for it.
Yeah, I guess they ain't wanting any more of it, Luke.
Looks that way. Think you and Cal can get the herd back on the Lazy M all right, Wichita?
Why, sure we can, but where are you going?
I'm making a fast trip to Bisbee. Now I know the Colonel's playing for keeps. It's time for a showdown.
Hey, Colonel.
Don't bother me, Granby. I'm figuring.
Slaughter's out front.
Slaughter? You didn't waste any time getting down from Tombstone.
Hello, Colonel.
You got your nerve coming in here, Slaughter. You wounded one of my men when he was doing his legal duty.
Legal duty? He was a rustler.
What do you want?
Well, I figured maybe we could stop any further violence around here if I had a look at that grant of yours.
Get out of here, Slaughter.
Tell your friend to keep his hand away from his holster, Colonel. You don't want your office messed up, do you? Tell him.
He's got a right to defend himself.
Yeah, sure he has. Go ahead, Granby. Defend yourself. Go ahead. Draw. I thought so. Now, Colonel, the deed.
I don't have to show it to you, Slaughter.
That's right, but you're going to.
There. You're so curious. Have a look.
Pretty document. Mighty fancy engraving.
Just as legal as it is pretty. Might help if you could read Spanish.
Well, it just so happens I can. Dated September 11th, 1852. Signed by... Say, this fellow really took a liking to himself, didn't he? His Most Serene Highness Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, perpetual dictator of Mexico.
You'll notice the grant is perpetual, too.
I noticed that. Hope it's more perpetual than Santa Anna was. Yes, sir. That's mighty pretty engraving.
Well, you satisfied, Slaughter?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed I am. I've seen all I need to, for now. And now that I've seen it, Colonel, I'm sure our next meeting will be under much different circumstances.
Well, I certainly hope so, sir.
Good day, gentlemen.
Slaughter, you must be out of your mind demanding I issue an order for the arrest of Colonel Everett and Mr. Granby.
I repeat, Judge, I want them brought up from Bisbee and held without bail. Oh, and by the way, be sure and subpoena that deed of the Colonel's.
But I can't issue an order for their arrest. There's no charge against them.
Listen, Judge, I guess I've read as much law as you have. You want charges? I'll give you a few. Fraud, intimidation, cattle rustling. You want any more? I'll sign the complaint.
But you don't understand, Slaughter. You'd have to have evidence.
I'll produce the evidence at the proper time. In court.
I can't do it. No, sir, I just can't.
Maybe you'd rather be a defendant in this case, Judge.
You better be able to prove your charges in court.
You'd be surprised what I can prove. See you in court, Judge.
Court will come to order. Luke Slaughter, being the complaining party in behalf of the Cattlemen's Association, he gets first say. Go ahead, Slaughter.
Give it to him good, Counselor.
Quiet, Wichita. Thank you, Judge. Now, these men are being tried on a charge of fraud. We'll forget a few other charges.
This is preposterous. He can't prove a thing. The judge knows that.
Could we have a little order in the court, Your Honor? Thank you. Now, if it please the court, I have in my hand the Mexican land grant by which Colonel Everett's claiming land around here. If it wasn't for just two things, he'd be in his rights. First of all, this grant is dated September 1st, 1852. That date looked kind of odd to me some way, so I looked it up. Now, it just happens that in September of 52, Santa Anna, who was supposed to have signed this deed, was in exile in South America. He didn't become president of Mexico until more than 6 months later, April 15th, 1853. So he couldn't very well give away land when he wasn't even in office, could he?
Order! Order!
Now, that's one thing. There's another. The first day I saw Colonel Everett's business associate, Mr. Granby, I had a feeling I'd met him someplace before. The thought kept nagging at me. Then when I saw this document, I put two and two together and the whole thing came to me. I was wrong. I hadn't met Mr. Granby at all. I'd just seen his picture a while back on the wall of a marshal's office back in Abilene, Texas.
What? Why,
It's no wonder this document looks so pretty. Mr. Granby is an expert at making things like this. He's wanted by the United States government for forgery and counterfeiting.
That's a lie!
Now, there's one more way I'm going to prove this case. By Judge Harris himself. The judge can tell you a few things about these men that'll prove their guilt. Can't you, Judge?
Well, When the Colonel and Mr. Granby first approached me...
I'll teach you to keep your mouth shut, Harris.
Luke, Granby's got a deputy's gun.
Get down behind that desk, Judge.
Keep away from me, Slaughter.
I'll fix you so's everybody will keep away from you.
Now!
See, he doesn't get away again. All right. Come on out, Judge. Let's have some order here.
Yes. Yes, all right.
I don't think we need to carry this farce any further. Judge, you ready to make your decision?
Yes, yes. I find these two men guilty as charged. They will be brought to this court tomorrow morning for sentencing. This court is adjourned.
Well, say, that was real nice work, Luke. Why, you saved the judge's life.
Yeah, I guess I did. You go ahead, Wichita. I'll be along in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I guess that takes care of everything, Slaughter.
Almost. There's just one thing more. How soon are you leaving town, Judge?
What? Why, I'm not leaving.
I say you are. We like our courts to be honest around here. I'm afraid you don't quite fit the bill.
Yeah, I guess I did make a mistake, Slaughter.
Maybe you can profit by it in the next place you go. There's a stage out of here tomorrow afternoon. See that you're on it. So long, Judge. Good luck.
Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, starring Sam Buffington, was written by Don Clark, with editorial supervision by Tom Hanley, and directed by William N. Robeson. Supporting Mr. Buffington were John McIntyre, Jim McCallion, Bill Quinn, Junius Matthews, and Ed Jerome. Music composed by Wilbur Hatch and conducted by Amerigo Marino. Next week at this time, we return with...
Slaughter's the name. Luke Slaughter. When we meet up again, you can call me that. Luke Slaughter.
Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, lawyer, bricklayer. No matter what your work is, the course of American business from day to day affects you in 100 ways. Beginning tomorrow and right through the week, follow our business news reports on most of these stations with Walter Cronkite and Bill Downs doing the reporting. Now stay tuned for Frontier Gentlemen, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. This is the CBS Radio Network.
And Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, which suffered from a number of factors, not the least of which that it did not get a lot of clearances in major markets. Good show, just they couldn't find stations that would carry the show. And that wraps up our look at Sunday, March 23rd, 1958, 67 years ago, with Frontier Gentlemen. Coming up tomorrow on the show, we'll let it be kind of funny. The Campbell's Playhouse, starring Orson Welles, June Moon with Jack Benny. A Day in the Life of Dennis Day and the Weaverville Land Grab. Not Amos and Andy, it's Abbott and Costello with another Sam Shovel mystery, and Claudia. That'll be coming up on our Monday show. On Tuesday, the Lux Radio Theater, Remember the Night, starring Barbara Stanwyck and Fred McMurray, and the Rudy Valley Royal Gelatin Theater with his guest Bob Hope. And then on Wednesday, we will have another episode of Gunsmoke, Inner Sanctum Mysteries, Did Justice Triumph, and Escape. And then on Thursday, another episode of Escape. This one of my favorites from 1949, The Diamond as Big as the Ritz. Also an episode of Dark Fantasy. The John Gielgud and Ralph Richardson versions of Sherlock Holmes. And Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy. And then we will wrap up the week with yet another episode of Gunsmoke, because you guys have been asking for Gunsmoke. We'll have that for you. An episode of Murder at Midnight. Philo Vance, starring Jackson Beck, and Orson Welles again in The Lives of Harry Lime. That's what this next 5 days looks like on the Classic Radio Theater podcast. Hope you will listen, and I hope you'll visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. Now, an episode of a game show called Quick as a Flash. That's next.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Driving tonight? Then remember this. Most highway deaths are caused by two temptations, to cut out of line and to go too fast. Crossing the center line of the road is more dangerous than you realize. Statistics prove it. Excessive speed is just as dangerous as officials say. You can predict your own impulses, but you can never predict the other drivers when driving tonight. Drive cautiously, please.
Quick as a Flash was a radio show, ran from 1944 to 1951, created by director Richard Lewis and MC Ken Roberts. It featured dramatic segments, guest actors from radio detective shows, and it was sponsored by the Hellbros Watch Company over radio. And you will hear the also coming up. Well, that's the show ran on from, as I said, 1944 to 1951. It moved to NBC in 1952, hosted by Bill Cullen. Well, the pilot was filmed for NBC in 1952, but it ended up running on ABC from March 12th to July 2nd of 1953, again from September 10th, 53 to February 25th, 1954. And Bill Cullen was the host until March of 1953, and then after that, till the conclusion of the show, he would be Bill Cullen would be the host. Quick as a Flash, we're going to hear the radio version of the show, and host Ken Roberts. This show goes back 78 years, March 23rd, 1947.
The Shadow knows. Yes, the Shadow knows the answer to the exciting mystery problem on Quick as a Flash. And the reason is the Shadow himself will be on hand to tell that mystery. So play detective yourself. Test your ability against the Shadow and 6 contestants on Quick as a Flash, which follows immediately.
The makers of Hellbros watches present Quick as a Flash. Time to wind up your mind with Hellbros. The makers of Hellbros watches, Hellbros, Hellbros, the correct watch for the correct time, present Quick as a Flash, the lightning-fast dramatized quiz starring Ken Roberts. And as guest in our mystery puzzle today, one of radio's all-time favorites, Lamont Cranston, alias The Shadow, with Ray Block and the Hellbros Orchestra. And here to get the program moving with the speed of lightning is our presiding officer, Ken Roberts.
Thank you, Cy Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, once again it's time to play the game that determines whether you can really act quick as a flash. As usual, 6 contestants from our studio audience have been brought up on the stage and are seated at a long table. They're going to be pitted against each other in a series of dramatic puzzles worth more than $300. And you folks at home, you're invited to play a parlor version of Quick as a Flash by trying to beat our contestants to the answers. Now for our first puzzle of the day, with a prize of $21 from Hellbros. We're going to bring you the story of an event we should all have read about. As soon as any of our 6 contestants know it, they'll stop the description by pressing on a buzzer, like this. The one who's first with the correct answer wins. But they'll have only one chance in each race. Get ready now to act quick as a flash as soon as you know this well-remembered event.
Flash, it's wedding bells after all for that romantic pair. That certain loving couple who wouldn't let distance or authority stand between them. No, though miles separated them, they finally made it. The day at last they said I do to each other.
Yes, the groom. I see lightning striking now in front of one of our contestants on Quick as a Flash. It's Marilyn Hancock. And what is your answer, Miss Hancock?
Is that Leo DeRocha and Lorraine Day?
No, I'm sorry, that isn't the right answer, Miss Hancock. We have 5 guests left on Quick as a Flash, and we'll pick up our story. We had just learned that today at last they finally said I do to each other.
Yes, the groom, known to all his associates as a finagler of fancy phrases, wouldn't let another moment go by. He pitched woo straight and fast the minute he heard he was free. Free to marry the raven-haired beauty he'd met on the boat. Yes, and it's orchids at last for her after spinning dizzily since the summer. But she's off the wheel, where she's been ever since her British-born sweetheart couldn't make up his mind between love and beauty. Well, his choice is history now. According to custom, the groom did not slip the ring on her finger this fine American morning. Neither did the bride give her age. But it's a fact that her husband was one of the youngest and finest catches in all New England. And catch him she did. For it was she who popped the question.
Struck now in front of another one of our contestants. That's Phil Hyden from here in New York. And what is your answer, Mr. Hyden?
Priscilla, John Alden.
The courtship of Miles Standish would be our answer, and that's absolutely right. Hellbros presents you with $21. Yes, Mr. Hyden, Quick as a Flash has just brought us news of the courtship of Miles Standish. Another example, of course, of the eternal triangle. And there'd never have been that triangle if Priscilla hadn't been going around in circles and Miles hadn't been such a square. As a matter of fact, in our first line, we said the loving couple was separated by miles. Well, are you married, Mr. Hyden?
Yes.
You are married?
Yes.
I see. Well, did your wife propose to you herself, or did she send her best friend to do it for us?
Well, I don't quite remember now. We just got together, I guess.
You mean you proposed to her?
We sort of melted. I mean, no one took the initiative, really.
Nobody proposed to anybody?
No, we just took it for granted that we just were meant for each other. So.
Well, isn't that old-fashioned? But it sounds very, very lovely, Mr. Hyden. It really does. Welcome to Quick as a Flash. I said you're from New York. What part of the city are you from?
Bronx, New York.
You're from the Bronx. What do you do, Mr. Hyden?
Barber.
You're a barber?
Yeah.
Well, it's very nice to have you with us today. When the time came, you spoke for yourself and the $21 you've just won, of course. Let's see which of our contestants will speak up before you in our next Quick as a Flash puzzle, worth $31 from Hellbrook. In this race, by means of their music, Ray Block and the orchestra are going to tell us all about a very well-known date. By putting together the titles of the following songs, you should be able to tell us what date that is for $31. Lightning striking in front of another one of our contestants again. It's the girl who lost in the last race, but trying now. That's Marilyn Hancock. And what is your answer, Marilyn?
March 15th, income tax day.
It certainly is the right date, Marilyn Hancock. And your gift from Hellbros is $31. Well, you certainly got in under the deadline, Marilyn Hancock. Quick as a Flash has just reminded us of a day we most of us rather forget. Income tax day, March 15th. How'd you get your answer? What was the song that Ray Block played that gave it to you?
Money is the root of all evil.
Money is the root of all evil, and that suggested it to you. Well, isn't that interesting? The first song was March for Americans, and that's where we got the month from March 15th. And, of course, they do bring to mind the filling out of the income tax form, and believe me, that's the only form men don't whistle at. Well, how long have you been in New York, Marilyn Hancock?
All my life.
All your life? What part of the city do you live in?
Forest Hills.
Forest Hills. And what do you do out there?
I'm a college student at Delphi College.
I see. And what are you studying to be?
An accountant.
An accountant? Well, then this date, March 15th, will soon be a national holiday for you, won't it? Do you think you're going to go in for income tax work particularly?
I'd rather not.
You'd rather not? Well, you won't have to report this $31 you've just won. At least Not until next year. And you just increased it, of course, by $31, your income, and I'm sure our other contestants hope they don't draw a blank in our next Quick as a Flash race. Our other contestants today include Aaron Levine, a young man in the Merchant Marine from Long Island. We also have Kay Kelly, a very charming lady from Oklahoma City, William Hammock from Cuthbert, Georgia, and Mrs. Charles Jelinek from Providence, Rhode Island. I want to wish you all a lot of luck. Now, here's the Hellbros $25 reward to H. Harvey Myers of C.W. Stewart Incorporated, Jewelers of Stamford, Connecticut.
With spring just around the corner, he asks about sundials. He wants a motto for a sundial, and here's the Hellbros answer. Probably the most famous motto is one from Old Venice, which says, I number none but the cloudless hours. And here's question number 2. Why is next Friday the first day of spring? And here's the Hellbros answer. Because on March 21st, our days and nights are equal. And from then on, the days begin to get longer. It marks a sort of beginning of things, a time to spruce up. And that's why so many people buy Hellbros watches at this time of the year. For a beautiful Hellbros watch is a fine touch on a lovely new spring outfit, because there's so much charm and distinction in the appearance of a Hellbros watch. You'll be proud of your Hellbros watch, and you'll value it even more through the years as it proves its accuracy. For Hellbros, the correct watch for the correct time is truly a great timekeeper. Yes, a Hellbros watch gives you everything. Value, outstanding style, superb performance. All in all, you can buy any Hellbros watch with safety and enjoy it with confidence. Just be sure to look for the name Hellbros on the dial when you go to your jeweler or jewelry department to buy a fine watch. Hellbros watches are priced from $24.75 to $750. And this is Ken Roberts, about to take you and our 6 contestants into our next Quick as a Flash contest, worth $41 from Hellbros. This third problem is a movie test. We're going to tell you the story of a popular motion picture. As soon as you recognize it, press on your buzzer, quick as a flash. Now, what movie would you say this is for $41?
How good it is to be at rest. Gone now are all the storms of my life, all the bitter unhappiness I knew. Now, when all appears to be over, my life really begins. If I could look into a mirror at this moment, I know I'd see myself as I really am, without the awful darkness that hid me from myself.
And lightning strikes again on Quick as a Flash. In a number of places, the first one to appear was in front of Aaron Levine. And Aaron Levine, what is your answer? What movie?
The Dark Mirror with Olivia de Havilland?
No, I'm sorry, it isn't The Dark Mirror. And there was somebody else who wanted to try then. I believe that was Phil Hayden. Do you want to try now, Mr. Hayden?
Count me out. Same thing.
Count you out? Well, according to our rules, you're not out of our race on Quick as a Flash.
I thought The Dark Mirror.
We have. You want to get out of it anyway?
No, I thought I was out because I thought the same thing that Mr. Levine did.
No, according to our rules, you have a chance to continue.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're very, very welcome, Mr. Hayden. We have 5 guests left on Quick as a Flash now. We'll pick up our story. Everybody's trying to find out this movie, remember? And the line with which we'll return to our story is, I know I'd see myself as I really am, without the awful darkness that hid me from myself.
But I know I've changed without looking. There's light now all around me, and I'm free at last from the bonds that held me all those years. Oh, how I tried to escape, but I couldn't get away from myself, not even after I'd put an ocean between me and my unhappiness. Now, at last.
And now Phil Hayden wants to try again and see how well he does this time. Phil Hayden, what is your answer now?
Sea of Grass.
No, I'm sorry. This time you are out, Mr. Hayden. You had almost 2 chances. We have 4 guests left on Quick as a Flash now trying to get this movie. We'll pick it up now where the young lady had just said, not even after I put an ocean between me and my unhappiness.
Now, at last, after 16 years, I've found my escape in France. I know they're all shocked as to how I got out, finding me as they did in the Seine, but it was the only way.
And here's a flash of another streak of lightning, somebody we haven't heard from as yet, William Hammock. And what is your answer, Mr. Hammock?
That'd be The Razor's Edge.
It certainly would be The Razor's Edge, Mr. Hammock. And here is a Hellbros prize of $41. Well, that I call a keen answer, Mr. Hammock. Quick as a flash asked you has taken us to the movies to see that popular motion picture by Somerset Maugham, The Razor's Edge. Mr. Hayden, I think this is one movie you might have gotten. We said you were a barber before, and after all, I thought you were going to get The Razor's Edge. You tried hard enough.
I saw it, too.
You did see The Razor's Edge. Well, isn't that a shame that you didn't win it? But isn't it nice of Mr. Hammock that you didn't, because he got to be our winner? And, Mr. Hammock, that wasn't so hard, was it?
Not too hard, no.
No, of course not. Well, what do you do when you're not appearing on Quick as a Flash, Mr. Hammock?
I'm a farmer.
You're a farmer?
Yes, sir.
From somewhere down in Georgia, I believe.
Cuthbert, Georgia.
Cuthbert. Where is that exactly?
Well, it's about 200 miles south of Atlanta.
I see. And what kind of farming do you do?
Peanut farm.
You have a peanut farm?
That's right.
Do they come up roasted?
So that's a little extra work you have to do.
Well, you just almost roasted us. You got your $41 for yourself, and of course you did that by recognizing The Razor's Edge. When did you see the picture, Mr. Hammock?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't. I recognized it from the book.
You recognized it from the book? Well, they tell me that The Razor's Edge as a picture could stand a little cutting. And maybe they're right. I went to see it at 11 in the morning, and by the time I got out, I had 5 o'clock shadow. But in any case, it's time now for our lucky race, and this time Hellbrose will pay the winner $51 plus a beautiful Hellbrose original watch. In this special contest, we're going to present our version of the story of a widely read about discovery. What story do you think this is for $51 and a Hellbrose watch?
No doubt you've read of our tremendous discovery, but we deserve no special credit for our find. An examination of the bare facts in the case would prove this immediately. My associates and I had been confronted with a mystery. We decided that nothing on earth would keep us from solving it. But success came slowly. So slowly that toward the end we were all growling at each other. Then I saw the answer. But when I hastened to share it with the others, they were skeptical.
You realize what you're saying, madam?
Of course I do. The only thing that'll explain everything. How can you ignore the evidence?
What evidence?
He's right, ma'am. You have nothing to proceed on.
How can you be so blind? Ask yourself these questions. First of all, what could penetrate in here? What else could cause so much damage?
Here's the winner of our last race, William Hammock, who wants to try again. That flash of lightning was his. What is your answer, Mr. Hammock?
The discovery of radium.
No, I'm sorry, that isn't the right answer, Mr. Hammock. If somebody else wants to try, that's Mrs. Charles Jelinek. And what is your answer, Mrs. Jelinek?
Penicillin.
No, I'm sorry, it isn't the discovery of penicillin either. And we'll go back to our story with 4 contestants still qualified on Quick as a Flash. We'll pick up our story where the woman in our play had just said, what else could cause so much damage?
You're jumping to conclusions, my dear.
You can't ignore what is virtually in front of your eyes. I tell you, it's the only possible solution.
You forget you still have furnished no tangible proof.
If it's proof you want, you'll get it. Now, listen to my logic. How can something disappear which we know existed? Of that, we're sure. The 3 serial numbers prove it.
But isn't it just...
And here's one of our early winners trying to win again. That's Phil Hayden, who just flashed on his streak of lightning. Phil Hayden, what discovery do you say this is?
Uranium.
No, I'm sorry, that isn't the right answer either. And we have only 3 guests who are qualified on Quick as a Flash now. And we'll return to our story where we had just heard the woman say again the 3 serial numbers prove that.
But isn't it just possible that one of us might have come back
and tampered with it? No.
Go on. Go on, my dear.
Now, consider the next mysterious occurrences. What had enough force to splinter the wood?
You think the unknown quantity was responsible for the violence there, too?
Definitely. Now, bear with me just a bit longer. Here we are confronted with a great problem. There is one possible place where we haven't looked for the solution.
And that is?
In that room there.
What?
You're mad.
Then go ahead and look.
All right. But if you're wrong about this...
Oh, what do you know? Mama was right.
Behold, the golden key to our puzzle.
I apologize for my doubts, my wife. So this is the person responsible for all our troubles.
Yes. Now, the question arises, what are we going to do with her? Just because she's made Junior's bed, we certainly can't let her lie in it.
And, ladies and gentlemen, I saw the flash of a streak of lightning at that very moment, and that was in front of Aaron Levine, who wants to try. Mr. Levine, what is your answer to this?
Well, I'd say that was Goldilocks being found by the three bears.
It certainly is. Goldilocks being discovered by the bears, and Aaron Levine will win $51 and a Hellbros watch. Well, you certainly made an excellent discovery for yourself, Aaron Levine. This has been a Quick as a Flash reenactment of that great moment in the annals of research when, after exhaustive study and intensive work, the three bears discovered Goldilocks. Well, what was said by the characters now play that gave you the answer, Aaron Levine?
Well, the discovery of the girl in the bed and, of course, the golden key.
That's what gave it to you? Well, we might have guessed that these were three bears talking when the mama bear said we were all growling at each other. A little later, the plates of porridge were recalled when Mama Bear mentioned as proof that someone had been in their house the three serial numbers. And practically the opening line gave us the answer, for in that line our heroine spoke of the bare facts in the case. Well, Aaron Levine, were you ever surprised to find a beautiful stranger in your house?
No, I haven't had that pleasure.
Well, maybe you'll have it someday. I don't know about those things. What do you do, Aaron Levine?
I'm in the Merchant Marine.
You're a member of the Merchant Marine.
That's right.
And you go to the Merchant Marine Academy, I believe,
That's
by
right.
your uniform.
That's
And how much longer before you're an officer?
30 months to go, yes.
30 months to go. Well, lots of luck to you. I certainly know that you're going to make a very wonderful officer now that you've proven how astute you are and quick as a flash.
Thank you.
You just told us about Goldilocks and the three bears. How do you think Goldilocks felt when she woke up and saw that family standing in front of her?
Well, I don't know. I guess like Little Red Riding Hood and the Wolf.
Well, except that wolves are a little worse than bears, don't you think? There's no doubt about it. The three bears discovered Goldilocks, and you discovered something pretty attractive yourself if you just look in front of you. What is it that you see there, Aaron Levine?
Beautiful Hellbros watch.
And have you any need for a watch?
Oh, but definitely. Mine kind of takes the wrong time once in a while.
Well, you're going to get the right time now that you've won that Hellbros watch. Let me tell you, you'll appreciate it more and more as you find out how trustworthy and accurate it is. That's because it's a Hellbros original. And now, for our big Quick as a Flash mystery contest, the Hellbros Derby, starring Lamont Cranston, the Shadow. The prize in the Derby will be $101 in cash. But, Cy Harris, do you know that everybody is talking about our handsome director?
Oh, me?
No, not you. That was Ray Block, ladies and gentlemen. At least he thinks he's handsome. The handsome director we were talking about was the Hellbros director. Now for our big grace, the Hellbros Derby. We've already tested our guests on their ability to recognize famous events, stories, movies, and personalities, no matter how disguised. And now we test their powers of observation and deduction. We do this with a puzzle in crime, in which we ask an outstanding radio star to set the stage for us. Today we've invited Brett Morrison, known to you all as Lamont Cranston, alias the Shadow. The contestant who was first to come up with the criminal and with the reason Cranston knew that person was the criminal will be awarded $101. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce...
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, is that nemesis of the underworld, the little man who is and is not there at the same time, Lamont Cranston, alias the Shadow. Well, welcome to Quick as a Flash, Lamont.
It's a great pleasure to be here, Ken.
Well, I know you want to get right down to work, so I won't delay you. What's the title of your problem for today?
Murder is a deadly mistake. I call this story Murder is a Deadly Mistake because it best describes how I became involved in the case. It was all on account of a switchboard operator's error. On Friday the 13th, around 5 o'clock in the morning, my phone began to ring. Naturally, I was a little annoyed as I picked up the receiver. Hello.
Hiya, Bobby. When are we going to get together?
Oh, haven't you anything better to do than call people in the middle of the night?
Oh, now, Bobby, you don't want to take that attitude.
Who is this?
Georgie Mendoza.
Who?
Georgie Mendoza.
Oh, you've got the wrong number, mister. I don't know anyone by that name.
Come on, Bobby. That's no way to talk to your old roommate.
My old roommate?
Yes. Don't you remember the good old days we spent together at Ossining on the Hudson?
What are you talking about?
I don't blame you
Look, Mendoza, you're making a mistake.
Sure. Listen, Papi, I'm a little short of cash. You suppose you could dig me up $5 grand for me in the next 24 hours? I'm staying at the Glenview Apartments.
Who do you think you're talking to, Mendoza?
Convict 84726, also known as Leon Cranston.
Cranston? My name happens to be Cranston with a T.
What?
You heard me.
The operator must have got me the wrong number.
Obviously.
Okay, fella. Forget it.
I don't know, Mendoza. I've got a pretty good memory.
I said forget it. It was just a gag among friends. And if you're smart, you won't try to horn in on it.
Well, I like a joke as well as the next party, so despite Mr. Mendoza's warning, I couldn't forget his call. And developments in the next 48 hours made me remember it all the more. For on Sunday morning, there was an item in the paper that an ex-convict named George Mendoza had been found poisoned to death. Then I thought it might be a good idea if the Shadow made a call of his own. Only this time, there'd be no mistake. I looked up the name of Leon Cranston in the phone book, and a half hour later, I was ringing his doorbell.
All right, just a second. I'm coming. What the... Alice,
Yes, sir.
did you hear the doorbell ring?
Yeah. Who is it, Leon?
That's just it. There's no one here.
What? Oh, that's impossible.
Well, look.
Why, there's no one in the hall.
No. And whoever rang the bell didn't have time to get back to the elevator. I don't get it.
You will if you're not careful, Mr. Cranston.
I heard it. Who said that?
They call me the Shadow.
What do you want here?
The murderer of George Mendoza.
I don't know anyone by that name.
You're lying, Cranston. Mendoza was blackmailing you. He knew you were an ex-convict.
Well, my husband didn't kill him, Shadow.
No? Then who did?
I did.
You're crazy, Alice.
No, I knew what I was doing.
Don't believe her, Shadow. I killed him.
That's not true.
I went to his apartment yesterday at 1 o'clock. He was having his lunch. He got up from the table to get a bottle of beer, and I put the poison in his glass.
Don't believe him, Shadow. He couldn't have done it. Mendoza was dead when he got there. I poisoned him long before that.
What poison did you use?
I don't know its name. It was in a bottle I found around the house.
Can you name the poison, Cranston?
No. I got it from an exterminator.
Who?
That won't do you any good, Shadow. He died last week.
That's very convenient.
Can't you see he's making this all up? When Mendoza called Leon, I was listening on the extension. Then I went to his apartment at 7 that morning. He was having his breakfast. I asked him if I could have some coffee. When he went to the stove, I dropped the poison in his orange juice.
She's lying, Shadow. She's trying to protect me.
No. I'm only telling the truth.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Cranston. We'll call this a draw. But we'll replay this match right after I get a little more information from police headquarters.
Come in. Oh, hi, Lamont.
Hello, Sergeant. How are things?
Couldn't have better. What brings you down here?
Oh, curiosity. I was wondering how you were making out with that Mendoza killing.
Oh, that's in the bag.
What?
Sure, we picked up the killer 15 minutes ago.
Well, who was it?
I'll show you. Stephen, will you show our friend in?
Hey, go on me, you big ape.
Keep quiet, Brooks. Lamont, this is the boy I was telling you about. His name is Walter Brooks. He killed George Mendoza.
I did not.
He was blackmailing you, wasn't he?
That doesn't mean anything. I wasn't the only sucker on his list.
Oh, but you had an appointment with him at 5:30 yesterday.
I told you I didn't keep it.
Don't give me that. Somehow you got him to take some prussic acid.
Wait a minute, Sergeant. Was that the poison?
Yeah. Want to see the coroner's report?
Like nothing better.
Help yourself.
Name of deceased, George Mendoza. Body discovered by building superintendent, 6 p.m. Saturday. Cause of death, prussic acid, which worked instantly. Rigor mortis setting in at time of discovery. Deceased was found lying on the floor, a broken drinking glass at his side.
And what do you think, Lamont?
I think I can prove who killed George Mendoza.
Why not let us in on the secret?
I'd like nothing better, Sergeant. But suppose we give our quick-as-a-flash contestants a try at it first. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the first contestant who wants to try is Phil Hayden. And remember, Mr. Hayden, you must tell us which of these suspects you think committed the murder and how Lamont Cranston knew it.
I think that George Brooks did commit the murder.
And why do you think so, Mr. Hayden?
Well, because the interval between the time of the supposed taking of the poison and the finding of the body. In other words, the coroner said that he found that the death took place instantaneously. At the time of the taking of the poison, at 6 o'clock, that was.
Yes.
And the time between the finding of the body and the taking of the poison is too short an interval.
Well, I'm sorry, that wouldn't be our answer, Mr. Hayden, and you're eliminated from this race. We have 5 contestants still eligible. Does one of them want to try now? We have 5 seconds, so there's one who wants to try. That's Mrs. Charles Jelinek. That's all I have time for. Mrs. Jelinek, rather, what is your answer?
Well, I think that George Brooks did it, too, because the lady and her husband said that she put the poison in the orange juice in the morning.
No, I'm very sorry that isn't our answer either, Mrs. Jelinek, and I will have to give you the solution myself. We learned, if you remember, from the coroner's report that rigor mortis was setting in at the time the body was discovered, 6 p.m. Since rigor sets in approximately 5 hours after death, Mendoza died at 1 p.m. and died instantly, since the poison used was prussic acid, which we said kills instantly. In our story, there was only one person who claimed being in Mendoza's apartment at 1 o'clock. That person was Leon Cranston. Therefore, he must have been the murderer. Well, no one won our Hellgross Derby this week, so $101 will be added to the grand prize in next week's Derby, making the total for that big mystery race $202. And, Lamont Cranston, we really enjoyed your story today.
No more than I enjoyed telling it, Ken. Who's going to set the stage in next week's Puzzle and Crime?
Another of radio's favorites. From out west with an exciting yarn, next Sunday comes Mark Chase, the sheriff.
Well, that sounds like fun, Ken. We'll both be listening, me and my shadow.
Yes, and I'm suggesting right here and now that all our listeners tune in a half hour early next week and catch that thrilling program of yours, Lamont Cranston, alias The Shadow. Quick as a Flash is produced by Proctor & Lewis, written by Gene Wang, directed by Richard Lewis. The Red Cross carries on for veterans, for military hospitals, for all communities in time of disaster. You can help by giving generously now. Listen to Brett Morrison as Lamont Cranston on the Shadow program, sponsored by Blue Coal, immediately preceding Quick as a Flash over most of these stations. Don't forget next week, Quick as a Flash's guest detective, Mark Chase, the sheriff. This is Cy Harris speaking for Hellbros, Helbros, Hellbros, the correct watch for the correct time. This is Mutual Broadcasting System.
78 years ago, March 23rd, 1947, Quick as a Flash here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Up next, Claudia.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Instead of going down, the annual rate of polio cases in this country is going up. Instead of growing panicky with fear in the face of such an unwelcome fact, there is a way in which we all can join the Army, which is fighting to check this trend and ultimately defeat infantile paralysis. We can contribute to the March of Dimes. Give today so that the 1952 March of Dimes will be the biggest ever and a really potent fighting force against polio.
Let's close out this Sunday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox program with an episode of Claudia. This goes back March 23rd, 1949. That is 76 years ago.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia. Claudia, based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. Claudia.
Delilah! Delilah! That blasted phone's ringing again. I ain't gonna answer it. Probably one of your cronies wanting to chew the fat. Delilah! Jag blasted sister of mine, when she wants to be deep, she's deep. All right, you ringing monster, I'll get you. Yes, Tucker here.
Well, Mr. Tucker, this is Claudia Norton.
Yes, young woman, what be ailing with you?
Are you busy now, Mr. Tucker?
Man of my activities is always busy, ma'am, but you need help?
Well,
you need advice? I got time for you.
We really don't need either, thanks, but David and I want to come over and talk to you right away.
I can tell by the sound of your voice you got something percolating. Spill the beans now, ma'am. Spill 'em.
Surprise! We're not going to tell you till we see you.
I ain't a man of great patience, ma'am.
Well, I ain't a girl of great patience either, Mr. Tucker, so we'll be right over. Say, Mr. Tucker.
Yes, ma'am?
David says to put on your hat and your overcoat and be ready to hit the road.
Where are we hitting it for, ma'am?
Oh, I can't tell you that, but we'll be over in 5 minutes. Goodbye.
Mrs. Norton. Mrs. Norton. That ain't like a woman.
Hey, Mr. Tucker! Hey, Mr. Tucker!
Coming, son. Coming as fast as these picayune legs will carry me. What's all this hullabaloo, hey?
Hey, Mr. Tucker!
You two young'uns are screeching like a pack of beagles howling after a fallen deer. The hunting season open?
The hunting season's open for us.
Where are we heading for, neighbor? It's only 4 o'clock by my watch. What are you doing back so early from the city, son?
Wait a minute. One question at a time, please. We're heading for Eastbrook Center, number 1. Number 2, I'm back in Eastbrook because my wife and I have come to a big decision.
You have, hey?
Yes, sir.
Well, let a poor old man hear what the news is before he breaks in two with impatience.
Just get in the car, Mr. Tucker, and you will find out.
Oh, you're stringing this thing out like them kids who blow bubble gum. I ain't setting foot onto this here automobile until you tell me where we're going and what we're going for.
He's being difficult, then.
All right, get in.
All right, son. When you use that tone on me, I know I'm licked.
Yeah, push over, darling. Come on, make room for Mr. Tucker.
I don't need much room. Age has made me shrunk like a plucked chicken.
We're off! Hooray! Can I tell him now, David? I'm bursting.
All right, go ahead. Tell him.
Mr. Tucker, we are on our way to see Counselor Rupert Abel Hankins.
Counselor Hankins, eh?
Yeah, you know him?
Know him well. Rupert and me was brung up together. Only he was brung up about 20 years later than me.
We met him first when he made the arrangements to sell your house to us. He was my second taste of Connecticut. You were my first.
Well, what are we driving down to see Counselor Hankins about? Ain't something about that deed to your house? Well, what are you dragging me into it for?
Take it easy. It has nothing to do with your house. It has nothing to do with our deed. And it has nothing to do with you.
No.
Then it sounds to me like it ain't got much to do with anything.
Mr. Tucker, you remember when you were over at our house last night?
Oh, sure I remember. I got the memory of an elephant.
Remember what you came over to tell us about?
Ma'am, you're talking to me as if I was a spewing baby. Jang near lost my teeth on that one.
Oh, dear.
Come over to tell you about that land laying across the road from you. Oh, it sure did break my heart when you said you didn't have the green dollars to buy it with, yeah?
Yeah, it broke our hearts, too.
But I reconciled myself. I'm a man of philosophy and strong will. I went home and I reconciled myself.
See, David, we have neither strong will nor philosophy. We didn't reconcile ourselves, Mr. Tucker.
I says to myself, if them two young Naughtons be strapped, they be strapped. That's all there is to it. You can't take money out of empty pockets.
No.
It's one thing you can't do. No. So I reconciled myself, and any day now I'm expecting that land to be sold to some city folks who'll turn the meadowland into swimming pools and the cornfields into golf courses.
David, aren't you glad we didn't reconcile ourselves? Aren't you delighted we have no philosophy and strong will?
I certainly
Aren't
do.
you beside yourself that we don't know when our pockets are empty and we're broke?
Yes, sir, I revel in it.
Now, look here. Where are we going, and what are all these smiles and giggles and rib pushings going on?
I told you that we're on our way to Counselor Hankins' office.
And it just so happens that Counselor Hankins is in charge of selling that piece of land across the road.
Well, everybody knows that, ma'am. It was published in the Eastbrook Town Crier. How that Hankins hornswoggles himself into getting any business, I'll never know. Never. Nope.
Mr. Tucker, Can't you imagine why we were going to see Counselor Hankins?
Well, if I could, ma'am, I wouldn't be asking you questions point blank, would I?
Well,
No.
answer him point blank.
Well, seeing as I'm not the man you are, Mr. Tucker, I couldn't sleep all night. And seeing David is the kind of man that I'm not, Mr. Tucker, he couldn't sleep all night either. So we both woke up this morning thinking we just had to have that land.
Huh?
So, when David was in New York today, he saw his brother, and they made some kind of arrangement. You know, man, about stocks and the bank and their father's estate or something or other. Who cares about the details? Because David came home all of a sudden at 3 o'clock, and Mr. Tucker, we are going to buy it.
You young'un's going to buy that land across the road?
Yes, sir, you heard the young woman, Mr. Tucker. It's going to be ours.
Well, I'll be it. Well, then someday there will be a herd of cows grazing in them pastures and tall green corn reaching to the sky.
You bet your boots.
Sure, I'm proud of you, young'uns. You got the wisdom that took me nigh on to 86 years to fetch up to. You're putting your money in the land, and I'm proud to know you.
Oh, David, drive faster. I think I'm going to weep.
Come on in.
David, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited myself. This is like a crazy dream. I don't know what I'm doing here.
I'm sure honored you brung me along.
Come on in, Sid.
Go ahead, darling.
Hello, Mr. Hankins.
Well, tain't you Nortons. Hello, you old scarecrow.
You addressing me, Rupert Abel Hankins?
Ain't talking to myself, Jared Tucker.
If you ever grow old enough to be an old scarecrow, Mr. Hankins, it'll be over my dead body.
Dare say it will be, dare say it will be. We'll set you down, all of you. There'll be enough chairs around. You having some sort of trouble between you?
No, everything's fine between us, Mr. Hankins.
Well, that's remarkable. When I see folks doing business with Jared Tucker, I'm always expecting lawsuits, litigations, claims for irreparable damage, and other infringements of human relations.
Well, it's nothing like that.
Yes, and the joke's on you, Rupert. I'm here just as a spectator, Counselor Hankins. So start the performance, Mr. Norton. I'm itching.
Counselor Hankins, I understand that you're in charge of the sale of that property on River Road, directly across from our farm.
Yeah, that's right. 51 1/4 acres belonging to Ned Mills. Or rather, belonging to the estate of Ned Mills.
51 1/4 acres. 51 1/4 acres of good Connecticut land.
Mm-hmm. Bounded on the north by Jared Tucker's property, bounded on the east by the Norton property,
That's
bounded
right.
on the south by the Matthew Warren property, and bounded on the west by the county line. Deeds all cleared.
Well, it's exactly about that we have come to speak to you about.
I see. Cigar?
No, thanks. I have my pipe.
I wouldn't mind having a cigar, Counselor Hankins.
Ain't cigars a bit strong for you, Jared Tucker?
How's that?
Ain't got a mind to see you coughing up your strength, but they say you're old enough to know what you're doing. Have a cigar.
Just for that, Rupert Hankins, I'll have two.
Cigarette, Mrs. Norton?
Oh, no, thanks. I don't smoke.
My daddy always felt women oughtn't to smoke.
Counselor Hankins, it's very pleasant to sit around and chat with you, but what about that land?
Well, you know all about it. You probably know more about it than most other folks, seeing you can lean out your window and feast your eyes on it.
David, I can't stand the suspense. Tell him right out.
Strange, ain't it, that Ned Mills never built a house on that property? Hardly ever set foot on it. Heard tell some strange stories about how the day his grandfather staked out that piece of ground, he had a seizure, rolled over and died.
Tain't true.
There ain't a member of Ned Mills' family that set foot on that ground since.
Well, I don't believe in superstitions. Do you, David?
Nonsense.
I don't see why we're here listening to Counselor Hankins talk. Let these young'uns do their business, Rupert, or you'll be having to do with me.
I ain't interfering, just waiting, filling the time with a spot of local color.
Mr. Hankins, we've come here today because we want to buy that land.
There, you said it.
Yeah, I figured that one out about 5 minutes ago, son.
I have an approximate idea of just about how much it's selling by the acre, and if you could give me the exact amount, I think we could draw up a contract of sale and we can settle a deal right now.
Easier said than done, Master Norton. Easier said than done.
But why? You said the deed was clear. I thought that settled everything.
If you're going to make it complicated, Mr. Hankins, just so's you can collect a bigger fee for the transaction, I ain't going to let you do it. I ain't going to let you rook them out of one honest cent. You need a lawyer to deal with a lawyer, I always say.
Hush up, Jared Tucker, hush up.
We have the cash, Mr. Hankins. We're all ready. From what you said, the property was in the clear, and we could just purchase it right off.
'Twas in the clear, son. Boundaries chalked off, no claims. Deed fits a fiddle.
Well, then what's to stop us?
Tain't mine to sell.
What, Chad?
What?
It was mine to sell, but tain't mine to sell no more.
Make yourself plain, Rupert.
I done sold the land.
You what?
Yep. drew up a contract sale not more than an hour ago. Never knew there'd be such a rush on the property. Would have asked more money for it if I'd known, but sold the land not more than an hour ago.
You sold all of it?
That's what I did. Every square acre of it.
You ain't just saying that to make us wet our lips all the more, are you?
I ain't that shrewd, Tucker. You're the kind of man that would do that, but I ain't that shrewd.
No.
So it's sold.
To anybody we know?
Sold to a city man. I can't divulge him, but, yep, deed's all squared away. Sure would like better to have sold it to you, but, yeah, it would have been kind of like keeping it in the family, but lawyers, no choosers, that land's sold.
Well, I guess that takes care of that.
If I ever find out this scallywag of a lawyer's rooked us, well, I just better never find out, that's all. I just never better had.
I wonder who bought it.
Oh, what's the difference?
Yeah, I guess so.
We really couldn't afford it anyway. Well, come on, darling. Let's go home.
You know, I think we got that land very cheap, David.
We got? What do you mean?
Well, exactly. Didn't cost us a cent. We saved hundreds of dollars, and it's ours, in a way. Just deciding that we should buy it. David, in spite of everything, I think that makes it our land.
This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney. Shopping for a spring outfit, if you have something definite in mind, frequently involves quite a search. En route, pause at the familiar red cooler for a delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola and see if it isn't easier to make a selection when you shop refreshed. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere.
"76 years ago, March 23rd, 1949, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Tomorrow, comedy, Orson Welles and Jack Benny on the Campbell's Playhouse, A Day in the Life of Dennis Day, Abbott and Costello, and Claudia. Have yourself a great Sunday. We'll see you Monday for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No